Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Thank you so much for joining us. On this episode of Red Carpet, we visit an African restaurant in Brooklyn. A Sudanese artist is teaching mosaic art to students in his country, and some industry experts in Africa give us insight into how the digital age has affected music distribution and consumption in their market. Let's get on with the show. And we begin our show in Brooklyn, New York. New York is one of the most diverse cities on the planet. Now, figures show that Africans make up at least 4% of the city's foreign-born population, with many contributing a piece of their culture to this ever-evolving melting pot. Yet, nothing quite captures the spirit and diversity of any community like food. Brooklyn is home to thousands of African immigrants. It's also home to Department of Culture, a restaurant founded and operated by cultural entrepreneur Abou Bakr.
When it was time to share food I grew up eating, food from Kwara State, I thought it was something that I have to do with great care. It wasn't a fusion. I wanted to serve it authentically. So there was a dish that we make which is very authentically Kwara, like tuwo. So in the north or in most other parts of Nigeria, they have tuwo and gbegiri, and they have tuwo shinkafa. And we in Kwara, especially in Ilorin, we eat it with corn. They eat it with rice in most of the part. But when I was making it here, we made it with corn. And when all Nigerians say, they're oh my God, this is from the village. I'm like, actually Kwara is not the village, but that's a different conversation. But again, the thought is to stay very authentic to what we do, because I know us Africans, we don't like to be painted with one stroke of brush and say Africa it's one state, not even a continent.
Aya believes there is no better way to learn or connect with a new culture than through food. His restaurant provides culinary experiences from his home state of Kwara in north-central Nigeria.
We're right by the River Niger, and so we are one of the states that we're just below the north. So we have a lot of northern influences on on our cuisine and even our culture, even though we are mostly perhaps southern people.
Located off Nostrand Avenue in the Bed-Stuy neighborhood of Brooklyn, Ayo serves his guests a 4-course meal while immersing them in a gastronomic experience that involves music and stories from Kwara. Ayo says that he takes seriously his duty as a custodian of his culture, crediting his grandmother for his cooking skills.
She's known to be one of the best cooks in the family, actually. Because when I was, I think there was a summer I spent with her, and she would send me to the market to go buy one little tomato, one little onion, this kind of this. It was very specific. It was kind of whatever we are calling farm to table right now, I was doing it at 12 with her. She would send me to go do this, go do that, and it was so lovely.
He says that it's not fair to paint food from the African continent in one broad brush. That, he argues, minimizes the authenticity of food from different communities in Africa.
People brush African food as one thing, African food. I don't know what they eat in South Africa. It's a big country. It's very famous. I don't know what they eat in South. I'm sure people eat there because, the people are surviving. I barely know what they eat in Cameroon. Actually, I don't know what they eat in Cameroon. It's right next door.
And of course, no dining experience at Department of Culture is complete without music. Ayo selects from his wide collection of vinyl records with music from his childhood.
That I didn't think it was a big deal when I was growing up. Now I'm begging my siblings, can you please send all the ones they're well, we don't have time.
And let's head over to Sudan, where artist Abou Bakr al-Sherif has been teaching mosaic art to students and amateurs alike in his home country since 2010. Sherif hopes to collaborate with both artists and companies to fill public spaces with mosaic portraits of national figures in a country where mosaics are not very popular or readily available.
للأسف الشديد فن الفسيفساء في السودان ما عندنا اهتمام به.
Unfortunately, we don't pay attention to mosaic art in Sudan. It is almost non-existent. I started spreading this art from Sudan as much as I can. I started training students and they are producing some very good work, which I'm very happy about. We travel abroad and we see murals and artwork reflecting national figures. Unfortunately, we don't have this.
وللأسف الشديد نحن ما عندنا الحاجة دي.
Creating mosaics for the past 17 years, Sherif says he had to devise ways to use ceramics instead of the usual stone and glass, as it is not readily available and expensive.
المواد للأسف الشديد هي ما متوفرة.
Material is unfortunately unavailable and very expensive. We buy them with dollars from abroad. We use alternative material like ceramics. We devised very good solutions to using ceramics. My work is unique as I use ceramic which is available here in Sudan.
Mosaic art was introduced at the Faculty of Fine and Applied Arts in Sudan in 2005, according to the faculty's dean, Abdurrahman Abdallah.
In fact, mosaic art started in 3500 BC in Iraq and then extended to the Roman and Islamic eras, also in East Africa and Central Asia. It is not popular in Sudan and it was not widespread until recent years.
Despite the efforts of Sherif and the introduction of the curriculum, the art form remains rare in Sudan.
And now for some inspirational news. A Ukrainian girl seen singing in a viral video while in a Kyiv bomb shelter is using her newfound fame to help raise money for her homeland. 7-year-old Amelia Anosovich melted hearts around the world as she sang the hit Disney song Let It Go from the movie Frozen. VOA's Miroslava Goganze caught up with the young girl and her family in Poland, where they're living as refugees.
When 7-year-old Amelia started singing in a bomb shelter in Kyiv, the crowded and noisy underground room where people were hiding from Russian shelling felt completely silent. Filmed and posted by the neighbor named Martha, the video of Amelia singing a song from the Disney film Frozen went viral almost instantly.
They liked it a lot. They all applauded. They were giving me high fives.
Amelia tells me this story in a peaceful park near Poland's capital, where we met with her mother, Lilia, and grandmother, Vera. Feeding the birds at the lake, Amelia recalled to me how she used to feed the ducks in Ukraine, and how when the war started, she often went to the bomb shelter and had to watch her every step because of the possible landmine along the way. Her mother, Lilia, recalled when she decided to leave Kyiv.
When Amelia started to be afraid to come to the windows, and when we would leave home to go to the shelter and then back because we would go to the bomb shelter at night, she would ask me at every step, can she take the step and if it's safe? At that point, I realized it is the end. It is the line. If I cross it and we will stay in Kyiv, she will become psychologically damaged. She will become a child who is afraid of her own shadow.
Amelia remembers the crowded train ride out of Kyiv.
Some people stood up. Some people sat down, slept on the floor at the train station. Me too. They gave us a soft mattress.
The family says people treat them well here in Poland. The family of 4 lives for free in a home outside of Warsaw. Amelia and her 15-year-old brother Misha can attend school here, but their mother is hoping they will be able to go home soon.
It doesn't matter how good and safe it is here. I feel foreign. I'd like to go home. I would like to see my husband. I am afraid for my family. I really hope that someone will hear my prayers and the prayers of thousands and millions of people.
And Amelia says she feels like she's growing up fast. The child appears unusually composed as she talks about her homeland.
We have to speak Ukrainian, not Russian, because our enemy speaks Russian. Our land is in Ukraine. We have to speak Ukrainian. We have war in Ukraine. Russia is attacking us. I am afraid for my family. My dad is there, my grandfather, my grandmother. I am afraid for all of them. Many kids have already died, and I would like to live, very much, and other kids would like to live.
Amelia's mother and grandmother are trying to maintain a sense of normality for her and her older brother. Last year, Amelia started going to school in Kyiv. Now, a refugee, she resumes her studies in this small town near Warsaw. The family hopes the war will end and they will return soon. For now, little Amelia is using her talent and newfound fame, singing at charity concerts around Poland, and she is raising a lot of money to help Ukraine. Miroslava Gongadze, Voice of America, Warsaw, Poland.
And let's head back to Africa, where record companies around the world are investing at a local level to develop music cultures and boost the development of emerging music through streaming services. We spoke to some industry experts in Africa who gave us insight into how the digital age has affected music distribution and consumption in their market. Check it out.
As streaming platforms have become the widely accepted way to consume music in the digital age, global recorded music revenues have continued to rise. Africa, with its outstanding musical talent and growing mobile phone population, is at the heart of plans to reach billions of customers for music streaming platforms. Natasha Stambouli, general manager at Transnet Music Limited, which owns Boomplay, one of the top streaming platforms in Africa, says the company's presence on the ground gives them an edge in the market.
One of the things that I think we did right is the fact that we have physical offices in different parts of Africa, whereby as an African, we have this element of we need to feel safe, we need to trust, we need to see you to believe you. So this also, creates that personal relationship with them and trust, and it helps us push more content out there. We have preloaded app within ITEL, Techno, these are selling in masses and they're being used with masses. So we have that angle where we could actually tap into a lot more users when it comes to the African market.
The music industry today is more competitive than it has ever been, and music fans are enjoying their favorite genres in a variety of new and innovative ways. Social media platforms such as TikTok and Instagram have provided a route to global stardom for many emerging artists. Artist manager Tenuma Blessing says emerging artists must embrace social media to promote their music.
An up-and-coming artist, you can't say you don't want to use social media, or probably maybe you're an introvert. It's not possible to get your song out there because one, you don't have funding, and two, social media is just like a free avenue for you to reaching out fan base or world population out there.
While many established musicians have openly criticized the lack of transparency in revenue reporting from music streaming services, emerging artists like Kenyan-based Nigerian singer Boy Adequate are loving how easy it is to release music through streaming services today.
Moving from the era of CDs, the compact disc and all of that, coming to the era of the online streaming, the Apple Music and all of the digital market stores, it's really quite easy to put your songs out there. It's quite easy to put your song out there on these platforms, but we actually need other heads together in order to promote our content out there for the people to hear, because it's one thing to put your songs or your content on these stores, but it's another thing for promotion, exactly like for playlisting and all of that, so it's not really easy, but as an indie artist, come on, it's what we love doing, so we're just moving on. We're just moving on.
Raving, I'm raving, oh yeah.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Funganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on all social media platforms. We are on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, catch you right here. Goodbye, everyone.